Right, Muslim attitudes towards usury. What do I mean by usury? Well, it's usual for, if I lend you some money, for me to charge interest on a loan. So if I give you £10, I might expect, say, £10.50 in return in a year's time or something along those lines. And as a result, that's often how banks make profits. They lend out money and then they charge for the payback. Usury means excessive charging or unreasonable interest. So let's say I gave you £10 and then I go like a week later, right, you owe me 11 quid. That's like, well, that's a bit unreasonable, isn't it? Because you only gave me a tenner, like, come on, and it's only a week. So that kind of idea is there. So what's wrong really with borrowing money? Well, many people who borrow money to buy things mean that they cannot afford something at the time. So it's tempting to buy now and pay later. That's not necessarily a good thing. If we look at poor communities, and if we look around, say like a pawn shop or anything along those lines, you will see pawn, by the way, P-A-W-N, as in the idea of where someone gives their stuff to get money out of it. It's often people who are poor because they're trying to borrow money so that they can get money back. And borrowing money can lead to lots of problems. You find yourself in debt, stressed, depressed. It can lead to homelessness. You can lose your house as a result of it because you owe people money. People will come around to your house and take your stuff. The government will do so if you owe the government money. So these kinds of things can occur. Often you have criminal organisations that do this. Mafias and triads and people like this often do this. Also, the burden of debt has an impact on the global economy. Once people are in debt, if the whole country is in debt, that becomes a problem. We see this in many developing countries. Remember looking at things like LEDCs and looking at their toxic debt and that kind of issue. So Muslims would often look at the motivation behind wanting to buy a material good. Maybe it might be okay to do it to to feed your family. But is it okay to do it to show off or get the latest trainers or the coolest car? Obviously not. So it's not wrong to be rich, however desiring possessions and getting into debt to get those possessions leads people away from God because they're less aware of God and they're more aware of money. So what's wrong with usury? Well, it's called Riba, which means, or Riba, which means usury in Islam, and it's forbidden by law. So there's a practice of Riba, and that's considered a temptation from Satan. And people will be often punished severely in their afterlife as a result of this. So a quote that states this is, "They took usury, though they were forbidden. We are prepared for them. A grievous penalty. They took usury, though they were forbidden. We are prepared for them. A grievous penalty." Okay? They took usury, though they were forbidden. We are prepared for them a grievous penalty. So something is seen as someone is in need, it's more compassionate simply to give charity, to give money away. Okay? Not to expect that money back. So making money out of someone who's in need is very wrong. So a statement that says is, "The riba that is practiced to increase someone's wealth does not gain anything from God. But if you give to charity, these are the people who will receive rewards." So people just give money and say, "Hey, forget about it, don't worry." That's okay. So let's look at a couple of quotes. They took usury, though they were forbidden. We are prepared for them. A grievous penalty. Good. The riba that you practice to increase from some people's wealth does not gain anything from God, but if you give to charity, these are the people who will receive rewards. That's from the Quran. And devour not usury. Devour not usury, doubled and multiplied, but fear Allah that he may really prosper. Okay? Devour not usury, doubled and multiplied, but fear Allah that ye may really prosper. So the idea there being, don't want usury, devour not usury doubled and multiplied, don't do usury, but instead be scared of God, follow God, because then you won't be materially rich, you'll be spiritually rich. Okay, so but fear Allah that you may be really prospering. That's the idea there.